All right, guys, welcome to the first episode of Mark Sulek Live. And we could not have a better guest today. Julian Decina, 270 lean. He's been crushing it on every platform for every good reason. We got influencing the youth, becoming a major presence in the bodybuilding community, and just all around good guy. So thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for those words. Yeah, thanks for having me on. I mean, being on a first podcast, and yeah, I'm stoked. I'm happy it's yours, man. We've been talking now for a while. I'm glad we were able to make something work, and great chest day earlier, great training, and yeah, I'm excited to be here. I'm happy you had me out, cooked me a nice meal before this.
It's great.
It's living lavish, so I'm ready for the pod, man. I'm feeling good.
Yeah, this will be great. So I wanted to get into definitely a lot more of your personal side of things, because I know a lot of people just see on the media, heavily on Reels. You get a lot of views that way, but I think they should know you for, probably who you really are, what you've been working on, what you're really trying to grow. So I kind of just wanted to start from the beginning, man.
Yeah.
Like, kind of tell me. I would love to walk through like your come up from up until now. Honestly, however you want to take it.
Yeah. Okay. I'll make it, kind of a long but brief segment into like the whole come up. But basically, so big into hockey. He was a huge hockey player, high school hockey, Michigan. Tender to the Aberdeen Wings in the NAHL. It's like a junior A league. Pretty pristine. It's nothing like OHL or anything like that, but it's a high tier junior A league. Had dreams to play D1, Division I college hockey, and that was my passion. That was my life. And senior year, I had a hip injury, and it was an injury where you didn't really know exactly what was going on, and it really was hard all senior year. I had all this hype behind my name, and everything was going great, and it just was lingering, and seeing doctors and this, and no one could really pinpoint what was going on. Finally, end of the year, I had to get hip resurfacing surgery, right? And that's the same thing at Patrick Kane. I don't know if anybody knows hockey. Patrick Kane, best American-born player of all time, but he had to get the same surgery, and I decided, I'm just going to take medication. There's only like a 70% chance it would fix it. I was going to be out 9 months, so I was like, okay, I can't risk that. That's like the 9 to 12 months. That's like a long recovery time. Started to take the medication, try and play through it. Went to juniors, NAHL. Was there for a month and a half. Left, couldn't, and it just drained the whole love of the sport, right? So come home around 18. Like, all right, I'm just gonna go to college. Whatever. I don't really know exactly what I want to do, but I'll just go to college because what else am I going to do? Go into business. My dad was an entrepreneur. Successful in that, and was going to business and. Fell into partying pretty hard, drinking. Wasn't smoking yet, but drinking and partying and whatever. And then I remember I was around like 20, and I started seeing, a bunch of bodybuilding stuff. And people would kind of mess with me, oh, you gay, or oh this, or oh that, like kind of mess with me about it. So I kind of was a little bit self-conscious about it.
Just for the lifting? Really?
Yeah, just for like bodybuilding, like, and I'm like, just like hardcore bodybuilding, that was like 6, 7, 8 years ago. I feel like it had a little bit of a different, it really blew up these last 5. And I think the older audience that's probably watching can maybe semi-agree with, like, it was kind of like a looked on upon weird sometimes, like you're over into it. Like, oh, you just want to look at other guys. And, like, it's just like, so I kind of felt a little bit of like judgment from like my peers and like other people for how much I like really loved lifting. And I'm like, oh, seeing Bumstead, I'm seeing all these guys. I'm like, I want to compete. So, that's what got me into influencing. Or not influencing, but like bodybuilding, right? And then I start seeing, Sush and James and these people, and I'm like, dude, this is like amazing. How to create a life out of bodybuilding and just being yourself. Like, dude, who wouldn't want that as a dream career? So immediately, that's when I knew what my dream was. Kind of like an Arnold says, like, you're rich if you have a dream. Like, I was like, dude, I have a dream. Like, this is what I want to do. Like, that's so cool. So started that whole process. Was training natural for a while. Whatever the case is. Started social media and I was around like 20, 25 now. And I went through, some pretty harsh ups and downs with everything, with taking some things that really messed with my mind, really changed my personality and who I was, really made me act out in ways I would never act out now, do things I would never do now. And sometimes I feel shameful. I really look back and I'm like, wow, like I can't believe I made some of those decisions. I can't believe I talked to people that way, or I had the thoughts that I thought in my head, but I would have never gotten close to the Lord, and also I would have never been in this position. So I have no regrets. Like, I don't regret anything I've done because you never know what position you'd be in if you didn't go through those hard times. So like, I went through a lot of hardship, right? Coming up into, January of this year, I had 10,000 followers on Instagram. And this is from going up and down, 12K and 14K, losing thousands because I wasn't posting, whatever. Started this year off at 10K. And I was like, you know what? I'm done posting degenerate stuff. I'm done posting for other people. I'm just posting for myself and falling back in love with bodybuilding and just like doing me. I'm going back to school. I dropped out of school. I had, it was my first time. So I was doing schoolcraft, but I was like going back to a university, Wayne State. And so I'm like, I'm going back to school. I'm going to start training. Well, I've been training, but you get what I'm saying, like posting and stuff. And I said, I'm going to post every day and just see what happens. Post for myself, not for anybody else. Do school, start praying once, twice a day, and just stop porn or any of that kind of stuff. Yeah. Cut out all the negativity, all the negative, leech stuff that gets in your mind and it's just hard to get out, and just try and be as pure as possible. And just from that, the positive momentum and positive energy just kept flowing and flowing and flowing. Around 40K, I decided to move out. I'm like, okay, this is really starting to work. Me and my roommate went in on together. Around 50K, my father passed away. So that was like really, really traumatic, really tough. And I kind of fell back into some old habits, not nearly to the degree I was in, but like I kind of fell back into some old bad habits that I was able to break through my relationship with the Lord. So now I've been like 4 months clean from smoking, or, not a drinker. Worst thing I do is nicotine sometimes, but I've been clean for a long time now, about 4 months from smoking. And I know I kind of make it sound like, oh, it's a hard drug, but I think people really underestimate marijuana, how bad it really is for your brain. Yeah. And I don't think people put enough emphasis on how toxic it can really be to people. Yeah. And that was what it was for me, and it was really hard to give up. So basically this whole year has just been a bunch of ups and downs, and now we're just kind of just still riding the slow burn up and just trying to just keep pushing. I know it's a long, explanation, but that's, I guess, kind of the whole process of how I've kind of got to this point where I'm at now. So
yeah, I definitely understand like the kind of how you said it. You wouldn't be here if you didn't do all that stuff before. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's not like you can go back and change anything. Yep. But you can go back and like learn from it, push forward. Like it seems like you've done a great job.
Yeah, thank you.
So I'm trying to think what else we can say.
I think with that too, there's a little bit of like, I think that there's an added pressure when you know right from wrong. I feel like I see a lot of people on social media, me myself just a year or two ago, right, from like not knowing better. I feel like for my worldview and like my religious sense of like, there's a lot more pressure on you when you know better. A lot of people don't know better, so they don't act right, But when you do know better and you still act wrong, like, judgment day is coming for everybody, whatever the case is. But like, I think there's an added pressure that now I try and live my life every day trying, I still swear, I'm by far not perfect by any means, but I'm slowly trying to like, I swear too much, I'm whatever, still certain aspects of my life I'm trying to get better with, but I think there's an added pressure because I do feel like from what I've messed up in the past, I feel like I know better now. I've made like almost every mistake, bro. That's why I don't judge anybody. I don't, look down on people for anything, because it's like, you don't know what they're going through. You don't know what they've been through. You don't know, how they feel on the inside about themselves. And it's like, I just try and kind of take that judgment aside and just try and look at everyone as like, just, hey man, like, you don't know what they're going through or whatever. And just, I think there's a lot of added pressure now to me, having my eyes be open and understanding like right from wrong, like really kind of getting the grip. And so I really try and I'm like trying to hold myself to a higher standard than I've ever held myself before.
Oh, that's great.
You know what I mean? So I'm trying.
Yeah. No, that's very difficult for you. I think, especially because I would say, what do you think your like age range of like audience member would be for majority? Probably like 15 to 25?
I would say 15 to 30 even, because I've had a good age range of like 18 to 24, and I've also had a good age range from like 20, I think it was like 25 to 30 or 28 or something like that. Like that, I think it's a pretty like 15 to 30s area, because I think that's probably like a relative good age range, probably, I would assume.
So when we just went to the gym, we obviously saw a lot of people came up to you. Mm-hmm. Like you could just see it. Like some of these kids, they're like trembling, asking for a photo. Like they're super excited. Like you definitely just made like, you made a decent amount of kids' day today. Yeah. And I would definitely say that they were from the earlier like age range. Like they're probably all younger than us. Like earlier than 20. Maybe some of the guys were a little older, but
Yeah.
I definitely think that is the most influenced group. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, so much. Yeah.
So I'd say I like to look at it this way. Some of the guys, because they know that these age ranges are so influenced easily, they kind of could use that to their advantage. Do you know what I mean?
For sure.
So it's like, I see guys like, posting all the party stuff or
Mhm.
posting all like the stuff that maybe they shouldn't be doing, that the younger guys see this and they think like, oh, like I want to do this too.
Yeah.
So do you think that it seems like the way you think about it and the way you're posting now is definitely in more of a sense of like, these younger guys, like, I think I understand the influence I have. I could be boosting you in the better direction.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So do you think that's kind of been what you've been trying
Yeah,
to
I
do
think
a
I
little
think it's
more?
like a really good. I think there's a balance to it, right? I think it's kind of within the realm of like understanding that you want to be your authentic self, but also stating there's limits to like everything of what you're posting. Like I will say I post a video about gear. Sometimes I'll be a little bit more open about my use or whatever. I'll
Mhm.
make sure I put in my comment section like, just so you know, I'm not trying to glorify, I'm not whatever. This is like for my bodybuilding audience, because as much as I want to just be a role model for these 15 to 19-year-olds, I also love my 20 to 30-year-old audience too, that can kind of relate to me on like more of an older, level, right? So I'm trying
Yeah.
to kind of fit in with both and understand like when I am going to make more of an edgy post like that, I say something in the, like, if you see, well, what Julian posted, you look at my comments, I probably have a pinned video like, hey, I know this is a little bit far-fetched of a joke or whatever, or like, stay away from like this. I don't ever, and I've made a couple of videos about like staying away from gear and stuff. But yeah, I think that's a great point. And actually, one of the things I struggled with recently was, and this is actually the first time I've talked about it on camera, but like I got offered like a gambling sponsorship, right?
Mhm.
And I took it because I needed the money at the time. I needed to support, me and my roommate and other things I was trying to do for social media and just keep pushing. I'm like, oh, I can use this money, keep investing it, and blah, blah, blah. And I think I posted 4 videos, and I swore, I gave my word to God, I'm not going to do that anymore. So like, I'm not doing the whole gambling thing because it just doesn't sit right with me. Not that
Yeah.
it's not, for some people it sits right with them. That's
Yeah, yeah.
totally fine. I
Yeah.
totally that's totally fine. I'm not against it, right? I'm just saying like for me, and like I kind of was just explaining about like trying to hold myself a little bit higher tier. Like I'm realizing, okay, and like it started to hit me. Like I post a couple of them, and it's just like a little clip in the Instagram reel, right? Just like a little clip of it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But then I had a couple of people like, how can I get to this? How can I do this? And I realized I'm like, dude, like I do have a really strong like influence, on people. And so I don't know, it really made me think like, if God put me in this position and he brought me all this, influence, or just like, I won't even say influence, I say opportunity, right? To like be able to make bodybuilding my life. And like, if I can do this correctly, like, ooh, man, yeah, I got some joint issues. But if I can do this correctly, like I can live a very pure, blissful life of just bodybuilding, posting like relatable, funny gym content, and just like trying to be positive, right? And that was just like a negative, like kind of like I sold my soul for the money. I don't gamble, I don't whatever, and it's kind of felt like I was kind of being a sellout. And so, as you guys, if you scroll back far enough on my page, you'll still see them. But I haven't posted one since I started in December. I'm like, I'm done. It was middle December, November is my last one. I'm like, I'll figure out a way financially to make this work. Because I've been paying out of my own pockets, to do these trips and to not even work a job and not have like a steady income. I really had to invest in myself for like a long time before this worked. And I had a lot of people asking me like, you blew up so fast. I'm like, dude, I've been like at this for like 5 years. Like I'm 25. I'm turning 26. Well, it's still like 8 months away, but like it's not like this just was like an overnight thing, So it's like it's been a long process. But sorry, not to get off track, but just with influence, I completely agree. I'm trying to balance the scale of a little edgy and funny, right? A little edgy and just being Julian, right? But also trying to keep it like, okay, but let's not go too far with it,
Yeah. So. I think the Suleks definitely know their way around like a little edgy joke.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I really appreciate that. So what so you said you've been doing this for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
So not lifting for 4 or 5 years, just the content.
Yeah, just the content. Yeah.
So when did you start? Would you say like you started really lifting?
I really was lifting. 14 years old, I really got into it.
14. Wow.
But like knowing what I know now, and even like I got on gear at 21. Like I feel like I've gained so much from this last year from actually training properly. I feel like proper movement patterns, real like better form. And I still obviously struggle a little bit with form. As a lengthy, tall guy, a lot of my tall guys out there probably can relate to really trying to get that form down. It can be difficult. I just been bodybuilding for 4 years since I was 20. So 5 years bodybuilding, but like loosely lifting for like 10, 11 years.
Yeah. Wow, that was a long time. I think I started lifting I think 16, I got my first pump.
Okay.
In our basement.
Nice.
And then, I would lift a lot, but it would more so be like, I'm lifting, I have a protein shake, I thought I was good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But really actually diving into it, understanding the macros, this and that, then it's like a whole new, it's a whole new thing.
It's a science project at that point. You're getting into a whole, second job too,
Exactly.
100%.
So do you think, I also wanted to ask you, if you were doing something else, let's say there's no content in the equation, what do you think you'd be doing?
So when you say no content, would you say taking away bodybuilding too?
Yeah.
Okay, so we take bodybuilding out of it.
Well, bodybuilding's on the side. Let's just say you're still big.
Yeah, I'm still big,
lifting.
but it's not paying the bills, right? It's something I have to figure out.
Yes. I always like hearing these.
I was going to school to be supply chain management at Wayne State, so I think I'm really good talker, so I think I could see myself in sales. I think I could for sure see myself in sales or like real estate, something along those lines. I think I would excel in. So probably, something with business, real estate. And if shit hit the fan and I just couldn't figure my shit out, probably construction or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Like worst case, I just, fuck it, I'll just go.
Construction's the go-to.
Yeah.
So Sam and I, we used to work, so we worked together. We worked construction-ish, we worked for the city, and we were street painters. So you throw on the neon vest, you walk out, you drop all the cones off, and you paint the crosswalk, which it was always super fun. It was super chill. We would get in the truck. It's 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 every freaking day of the week, all summer, in the blazing heat.
You say every day of the week, 5 or 7?
5.
Okay.
Every weekday.
Okay. Gotcha.
So not weekends. But we would get there, and it'd be 6:30, and we would both be tired. And then you walk into the place, and you get your, we have our little plot of what we're supposed to do. So we go out, we load up the truck, we load the paint on, we go out there. And next thing you know, I look over and Sam is sleeping in the truck, and he's fucking off in the truck. See, a lot of guys see the super disciplined Sam. They don't see the sleeping in the truck.
Yeah,
Sam.
sleeping.
But
it's 7 a.m.
Anyway, so I'm dude, you gotta fucking wake up, bro.
Yeah.
You're just stressing me out. We gotta get this started. He's all right. He's open one eye. He's all right, I'll get going later. So I go out and I put all these cones and paint it, but it was super chill. Yeah. I mean, I would have the best days doing that, because then you're done at 2:30, you get home, and then you got the rest of the day.
Yeah, you got the rest of the day.
I go golf, go to the gym. It's a perfect rest of the day. Yeah. But he would stress me out, dude. There'd be our bosses driving by, and I'm shaking. I'm dude, you gotta fucking get up, bro. You gotta wake up.
He'd always be zen sleeping, mode, just chilling.
Always.
Did you? So I actually had a buddy do that too. I heard they get paid pretty. It's probably a pretty good summer gig. I mean,
it was a good summer gig.
Yeah, it was with your brother too. I mean, that's got to be.
Yeah, we were
environment's very important. That's what with work too. It's if you don't have a good environment, I see why so many people hate their jobs or hate whatever. It's if you can't click with your coworkers, that makes a huge difference on what you're doing. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be 3 days we were good. 2 days we'd maybe be arguing or something.
Yeah.
But that's just any brother relationship.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was.
Because you guys wait. So Sam's 23. You're 22.
Yes.
So you're only what? How?
So
that doesn't.
I'm 22.
Yeah.
He's 23, but he's gonna be 24 in February.
Okay.
So he's got and I'm in December, so he's got a year and 10 months on me.
Okay.
And this is what we talked about this earlier.
Yeah.
I wanted to bring this up on here. I think I finally cracked the code of how Sam is so much bigger than me, and how he's been so much bigger than me.
Okay.
And this will lead into another funny story.
All right.
So, obviously, he was more genetically gifted. He just came out of the womb swole, dude.
Was he really?
He was always big. I don't remember one time he didn't have abs or
So he
something.
wasn't like a scrawny. I was like a scrawny kid. He wasn't like a scrawny. He kind of had like an overall natural build, you'd say,
Dude,
at a young age.
He had a build. He had like
Yeah.
a good foundation on him.
Okay.
But I was like 10 weeks early as a kid.
Okay.
So I was premature.
Okay.
So I was like, I don't know how many pounds I was, but I was in like the, I don't know what they call it, not the ICU, but
I know what you're talking. It's like the certain, where
where like the incubator little kids go.
Yeah.
And so I'm talking to my parents like over Christmas break. I'm talking to them, and I was like, you know, if I would have stayed in the womb for 2 more months, I would have came out jacked.
Yeah.
Because half of those kids, dude, like when you're that early, kids are like a few weeks earlier than me, and like they don't make it.
Really?
Which is like really.
I didn't know.
I remember my parents were like super worried about it.
Wow.
So now I'm like extra lucky to be here and to be as big as I am.
Yeah,
I
and to
think.
be as big.
So I'm fortunate.
And to be like a well-rounded, because you don't just lift though. That's the thing. You're in school, you lift.
Yeah.
You're a really good golfer. Yeah, I mean those are. Well, I feel like I'm missing one, but yeah, I mean those top 3. That's a pretty strong 3 right there.
Influencer.
Yeah,
Side
influencer.
hobby.
Yeah.
Podcaster, newly.
New to be. Yeah.
But it's So right now I'm in school. I'm a senior. If you guys are wondering where we are, we're actually in the finance building at the college I go to at Wittenberg.
Yeah.
Got to represent Wittenberg. But yeah, so I'm a senior. I have 1 semester left, and then I'm graduate. I originally came to school for computer science.
Okay.
But then AI blew up like crazy, and then it just wasn't the fit. Like a few of my friends graduated college and they had computer science degrees, and there were no jobs.
Yeah.
Because like ChatGPT, AI, like all these different coding sources.
I know. It's too bad. There's a lot of people that are not. Yeah. It's yeah.
So it's like the kids who only know how to code and then they just get bodied by a computer who does it 100 times better. Like these guys didn't get a job. Man. So I made the switch pretty quickly. So I kind of
good call, man. Good for you for noticing that. Damn.
It was good timing. Because luckily I'll still graduate in 4 years, like 4 years time, on time.
Beautiful. Nice.
So it feels pretty good. But yeah, I've been all 4 years golfing, which is always really fun. So I try to lift as much as I can in the golf season. Because obviously it's not good to be tight. Like when you're a big guy, obviously we were just talking about this, like you get tightened up no matter who you are if you're lifting. But the key that I kind of found for mixing lifting with golf is like you got to keep lifting. Because if you remember when you were a kid and you first started lifting and you hit the one lift, one chest day from 2 weeks prior, and then you're sore for the whole week. But like if you kind of keep the lifting up as a general, like just stimulating, like you're not going to get sore, but you're going to kind of keep it on.
Absolutely.
So that's been the best thing to balance like the lifting with the golf.
Plus, I feel like would that mess up like I feel like the bigger I used to love golf too actually when I was younger.
Yeah.
But the bigger I got, I don't have the. So I feel like if you're like lifting, then you're kind of on, you're lifting kind of off, would that kind of mess up your swing? Like you know what I mean? Like if you're just kind of on and off, I feel like you got to either be off, like completely off, or you got to be like pacing, like where at least you're kind of keeping the same momentum with it.
Yeah. So the OGs will remember the 200 series. Did you ever hear about this?
No.
You didn't watch any of this?
No.
He's not an OG.
Not an OG,
but anyway,
I need to know.
It doesn't matter. When I first started posting, my first YouTube series, I called it 200, where I was going to get my ball speed off the driver to 200 miles per hour, and then I bulked to above 200 pounds.
Oh, that's
so
that's sick, dude.
I already hit the ball pretty far and get like 180 ball speed, and then I was like around like 170 then. And the bulk to 170 to 200 was pretty easy.
Yeah.
But I just ate like shit.
Yeah.
It was the dirtiest bulk I'd ever done. Like I didn't even know, because at the time Sam is posting about fucking Krispy Kremes.
Yeah, and he looks like a gorilla,
like a freak, and he's posting about the
cinnamon toast crunch and
the cinnamon toast crunch.
Yeah.
Why can't I think of it?
Chocolate
Fairlife
milk.
chocolate milk.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, if you guys drink a Fairlife chocolate milk, a whole thing of those, it fucks your stomach bad. Like, dude, I remember I'm really pushing, trying to get to 200 pounds. I like didn't eat anything all day. Like my stomach was hurting. I had Chipotle for dinner, like a huge bowl, and then I had a big thing of Fairlife chocolate milk, slammed it all before bed. I'm like tossing and turning, like I can't sleep. It was so bad.
Yeah, you're torched.
It was
Yeah,
so
you're
bad.
done. See you later.
But I think now I'm like 185-ish, and I feel a lot better, and I'm just as strong from when I was 200 pounds. Yeah. So it was kind of I'd say it was a good thing, but I would never do it again. And I would never recommend anyone to do it either.
Yeah, that's...
Like, it fucks
bulk
you up.
30 pounds, 170 to 200, that's...
30 pounds.
And how long?
In like 5 months,
Wow.
4 or 5 months. So I was going pretty hard.
Yeah, you probably filled out of... How tall are you? I don't know why, I can't guesstimate.
5'11".
5'11"? 200?
6 foot with shoes on.
Okay.
6 foot.
Yeah, 6 foot. 6'1"?
Yeah, 6'1". Yeah.
About 6'1".
Well, when I stuff my shoes, it's 6'1".
Okay, so easy 6'1".
You guys haven't unlocked shoe stuffing yet.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. If you stuff your shoes, that you're cooked. I think. Like you need, bro. Like just be happy. Just be happy with your height. I don't care how tall you are. You do not need to be stuffing your shoes.
I will say though, there's a difference between when I wear Converses or when I wear like the running shoes with like a little bit thick. Like I feel like I just look housed with that extra like half inch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
It's
saying?
like Vans versus Air Maxes.
Yeah,
You're taking the Air Maxes.
Yeah, you're
all
taking
day.
the Air Maxes. Yeah.
Kinda
Even
similar
taller,
to
you're
what I'm
taking the Air Maxes.
Yeah. But yeah, that was quite the bulk, and the ball speed never really came either.
Really, you
Like,
hit 200? That sounds pretty fast,
never hit
man. I don't know.
200.
That sounds like a pretty
Yeah.
hard thing to. Is that like a normal for golf? 205
I
miles
think
per hour?
I think 205 is the equivalent, or 200 ball speed is probably the equivalent of like a 405 bench. Like it's freak level.
Yeah,
it's
pretty,
freak level.
yeah,
So I got to like 192, which is really fast for me.
Yeah.
Anything above 190, like the pros are cruising like the higher level guys like 180, 185.
What?
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, well, it's not about
That's
hitting
like a
super
495
far.
bench then. That's more. I think 405 a little low. I think that's like a 495 bench. If pros are cruising at,
Okay, yeah.
yeah,
I would
that's pretty
say-
nuts, dude. That's kind of crazy to me. 192.
Nah, I would say it's roughly a 405 bench.
Okay.
Because the long drive guys, that would be like the strong men.
Yeah, yeah.
They're swinging at like 230, which is freak level. Like
That sounds wild.
I really wish
The heavier set, is that what you're saying? Like the heavier set big dogs?
Yes, because they're like 6'6". They have all like the length in the world.
The range of the whip. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it
Makes
was
sense.
really good.
Makes
Yeah,
sense.
but this was the second funny story into it. So Sam was always jacked, and I was always like, I was just smaller. Like I
Yeah.
was just smaller. So I had to work twice. I had to work twice as hard. So really, I lifted twice as hard back then. So really, I was bigger.
Yeah, and yeah.
Like the bro math is like
Yeah.
I was bigger.
Yeah.
But anyway, we were divers in high school.
Okay.
So we always dove together. Like my sister, I have an older sister, she swam, and then Sam and I would go to the pool, and then we wanted to dive because that's more fun than swimming. So
Yeah.
like jumping around. So we end up, we dove like forever since I was probably like, I don't know how old, like very young. I dove since I was super little. Sam too. And we were in high school at the same time. So I was a sophomore when he was a senior. And we both went to the high school state championship dive meet.
Damn.
And it was really cool. It was awesome.
Yeah, that's a great moment. Yeah.
Because he took diving seriously. Like he did it all year long. When I would do it just in season, then I would go golf.
Okay.
Then I would like work on golf over the winter. So I didn't dive as much. I was still pretty good.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
But
I mean, you're at the yeah.
So we're at the state dive meet, and we're warming up. And there's like a little group of friends we had.
Okay.
And one of the friends is like, oh man, like these girls, oh, this is so funny. These girls are looking at Sam, like, they're like, oh my gosh, who is that? He's like so jacked. Because he was still big in high school. He was probably like, I don't know, 185, but like pretty lean.
Yeah.
I think he could, I don't know.
Are you guys the same height? Sorry. Are you guys the same height?
We're about the same
About
height.
the same? Okay.
Yeah,
just fine.
so we're about the same height.
Okay.
And we get there, and these girls are asking about him. And then my friend, oh my gosh, I'm blanking on his name. My friend Tony points out Sam. He's like, oh yeah, that's Sam, like, to these girls. And then they look over, he's like, oh, but there's Sam's brother over there. And they're like, whoa, like for real? Because I wasn't lifting at the time.
Yeah.
You know, and obviously you're very exposed in diving. Like
Yeah.
we're wearing
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
Speedos, bro.
Really? I didn't even think.
So it's very
together.
exposed.
Yeah.
And that is what sparked my lifting journey.
Yeah.
When I was like 15, and these girls, these girls didn't think I was related to him because I didn't look as good.
Dude,
It
that's
hurt.
crazy.
It hurt.
So wait, so did your parents swim? What made all three of you guys? Was there any like your mom or dad do swimming or what?
No, it just happened,
It
honestly.
just happened.
Yeah, it just kind of rolled. It was really fun. I mean, I used to swim up until high school,
Okay.
and then I didn't swim anymore, just because it was kind of boring. I mean, it was really good conditioning at the
Oh,
time.
yeah, great, yeah.
Like I really enjoy swimming now, but
Gotcha.
competitive, it just wasn't fun. And we were a little better at diving, honestly.
So when I first did my first bodybuilding competition, I didn't do very well. But yeah, the whole Speedo thing kind of got to me for sure.
Yeah.
You know, how's that like doing that so young? Did you go, especially going through puberty? Was that kind of weird? That must have been hard, man. Like
That's funny.
like you're not like 20 like me getting on stage 21 like
Yeah.
or whatever. I was older than that, but you get what I'm saying. You're going through puberty and you're in like fucking Speedos, diving off boards and shit. Like that's got to
Yeah.
be a little, you know, what was that like?
See, I got a lot of flack in high school. They're like, golfer, diver, like this guy is not an athlete. Like this guy, like no football, no basketball. Like I got a good amount of flack. I was like, yeah, I know it's peculiar, but
Yeah.
I liked it. And
Yeah.
I stand by it.
Oh, hell yeah.
It was so fun. But yeah, a lot of being comfortable out there. Like there's you have no choice but to
Yeah.
kind of just be like,
Oh,
fuck it.
whatever,
Like
man,
I'm
we're
just gonna
here.
rip
Yeah.
this and be fine.
Yeah.
And so I remember Sam said that he was like getting onto stage, the
Yeah.
Speedo, it doesn't bother him
Okay.
because he was used to it.
Yeah,
Like,
'cause he was
I mean,
used to it,
we're
yeah.
flaunting around the pool all
Yeah.
day, but yeah, I remember it's like you graduate from like the long, tight shorts that you used to dive in, and then when you go to Speedo, it was a different game. That's when you turned legit.
Yeah.
So if I had if anybody, when we got older, it would be weird if you didn't have the Speedo on.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Like you'd be clowned
Like,
if
looking
you didn't
at
have
him
the
like,
Speedo
why
on.
is that guy so?
Yeah, just be like, dude, like fucking just wear the Speedo,
Yeah, just wear
bro.
the
Like,
Speedo,
come
yeah.
on. Like,
Grow
oh,
up.
dude, you're so lame. Like, you're not in the Speedo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little bit opposite,
Yeah.
but it was a good time.
There's got to be
It
some
was so
nice like
fun.
diving birds too. You guys ever like practice at the same like time or is it?
Yeah.
Really? That must have been. I'm sorry, I can't get over that. That must have been a fucking trip, dude. You're 16 years old in a Speedo with
Yep,
you know
just walking around
Jenny
all the
at
girls,
high
yeah.
school looking. Really? Wow. All right.
Yeah, some dive meets were pretty good.
Yeah.
It was
It's a fun sport, man. I'll let my son do some
That
fucking
was so
diving.
funny.
No, that's cool though. That's really cool. Yeah. No, that's a great. I was just a big hockey player.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So no football, nothing.
No, my parents didn't really want me to play football, which makes sense.
Yeah.
But then I did have some pretty injuries in hockey that I still have to deal with now. But
Yeah.
kind of, you know, how it goes. Everything happens for a reason. But
Yeah, I get it.
don't regret anything. Love the sport, man. Love the sport. Obviously, all sports. I'm a fan of all sports, man. You know, I don't really know the ins and outs of football. Like I couldn't be like, oh, that's a fucking what play or whatever the fuck,
Yeah.
like whatever. But
Yeah.
sports are cool, man. I respect all sports, man. I love watching them, and from time to time in moderation. I mean, we're busy men, don't really have time to be watching sports all the time. But like,
Yeah.
when you do have the chance, it's cool, man. It's cool, especially to be in an arena, like see people like really locked in on their craft, like mastering your craft. It's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
For sure.
I actually went to my first NFL game for the first time.
Really? How was that?
Down in Cincy. I watched
Cool.
the Bengals Browns game for one of my friend's birthday. It was pretty fun.
Yeah.
You know, it was pretty chill.
Yeah.
The game goes by so much faster because there's so many advertisements. Like
Yeah.
it goes by faster when you're there just watching because there's no ads.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's no ads when you're watching in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't stand the ads. Like there's ads in everything.
Well, I guess just to bring up the point thing I was talking about. What are your thoughts on gambling?
The
We
gambling.
haven't talked about that because I like you're saying the ad thing, right, dude? Every time I turn my phone on, like the gambling epidemic, like I get a gambling ad. Like every single time for anything, it's always a gambling ad. Like
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about the gambling. I mean, I don't want to say like I'm against it.
No,
but I don't.
yeah,
I'm
not, like-
definitely not for it.
yeah,
I'm pretty medium. I mean, like I don't really care if you're gambling.
Yeah.
Or I really don't care that much if you're promoting it either.
Mhm.
But you just got to understand, like some of these kids aren't making a lot of money as is,
Mhm.
and just reinvesting your money into something that
has such a low.
literally
return
there's like no
opportunity.
return.
Yeah.
Like everybody loses.
Mm.
So you'd be better off. I would say this: gamble all you want if like your Roth IRA is maxed out.
Yeah,
you
for
know?
sure. Yeah.
Like it,
Yeah.
but
Agreed.
nobody
It's a
is.
great-
So
yeah.
then it's like not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just say there's way better places to put your money. As someone young, as like a younger person,
Mhm.
for sure. Like I know guys
Yeah.
here at my school who are all about the gambling, and I'm like, one, like where are you getting your money from?
Yeah.
If it's even worse if you're gambling away like your parents' money.
Yeah.
But then, I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah,
What
I
are
guess
you
my
saying?
thoughts on it is, like I said, I'm not like for or against it, because I've obviously made the mistake of posting it, right? So I can't sit here and act like I'm better than right. But
Yeah.
I made, dude, I made every mistake in the book, man. I can go down the whole chapters, but
Well, I don't know if you can really call that. Well, I guess it's how you label it. But
Yeah.
I mean, if you're back against the wall, not that even if you're
No,
not,
yeah.
but if that's just a good opportunity to further your income, I understand it.
Yeah. So
I don't
this is
know.
a good friend, a friend of mine. His name's Clyde. I don't know, he probably won't be watching this, but Clyde. I don't know if you've seen him on Instagram. His name's Clyde. He's like an Orthodox Christian. He makes stuff like that. But I kind of brought this point up to him because I like to go to a lot of people that like have similar worldviews or views as me with like especially with religion stuff. Kind of ask and when he gave me a really clear view on it, it's kind of like he kind of views it the same as like OnlyFans. Like it's like the male version of it's like an epidemic. It's like a mind like. Some of these people and sure, there's a lot of people that can gamble in moderation. That's a real thing. A lot of people can drink in moderation. A lot of people can smoke a lot of moderation, whatever. A lot of people can't, So it's like, it's kind of similar to an OnlyFans type of you're kind of selling this fake dream that it's like, okay, and all these people that are promoting gambling are getting paid to promote it, right?
Yeah.
And they get a playable balance or whatever the case is, right? So it's
Yeah.
so it's not I don't know. I guess I feel kind of indifferent about it. I don't think it's wrong if you choose to do it. If your moral guidelines don't which mine weren't for a while. So I realized because as you learn and grow, you're going to learn what your moral guidelines are. You don't just automatically know 18, 17, 16. This is what I believe exactly. You kind of go through life and you figure, okay, this is probably where I draw the line here because I crossed it. This is I touched the fire here. This is where I'm going to stay here. It's like you kind of figure out as you go. I think as I've figured it out, I'm kind of I don't know. I'm not for or against it, but I'm definitely, for my personal, going to stay away from I may be at the casino from time to time with a friend or whatever.
Yeah.
But for example, I used to have a couple buddies. Obviously, we all have friends that like to gamble. And I have a couple buddies that would, it's fun for me to watch people gamble, but the feeling I get when I lose $100, I'm like, dude, it's an anxiety I despise, bro. So I get how people get sucked into oh, I lost 100. Okay, if I can just make that 100 back, then you're down $2,000, bro, and you can't you don't have rent for this month now, and it's just you're going to bed oh my gosh, and then you wake up to seeing an ad about it. It's just oh my gosh. So I have sympathy for the people that definitely have gambling addictions. So I don't want to be part of the problem, I guess.
Yeah, I definitely understand that. That's also man, I was thinking of a point. It just lost my mind. Shoot.
Yeah, it's
Anyway. Why can't I think of this? Well, back to the gambling. I don't know. Oh, this is what I was gonna say. So I'll play a friendly game of poker with my friends.
I wouldn't even consider that game. Yeah, I mean, you're playing slots on your phone. I know people at the gym playing slots. It's dude, you think you're gonna make that's a different. Playing poker with your boys, I don't even think is gambling. That's a real card game. You're playing with friends. You're not playing on your phone and spinning a fucking.
Yeah, that's a different type of
that's kind of more of what I'm talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's kind of more of the realm I'm talking about.
More to the point, back to what you're saying about. If you lose $100 and you feel like shit, which I've felt that before too.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh my God, fuck, that sucked.
Yeah.
But when I just play a friendly game, I just played poker with my friends over break, and you buy in for 50, and then you go in throughout the night. I was up a ton, and then I lost it all back to even, and then I ended up making $4.
Yeah.
So I cashed in for 50, out for 54.
Yeah.
But then. I on my drive home, I'm thinking, I was like, the stress of being up and then down and then possibly down all of it was not worth my $4 profit.
Yeah.
It just wasn't. It was worth it to go there and hang out because I like talking to my friends.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure a lot of people think that where the highs of like a roulette win versus the lows of pissing all your money away. I just can never see where the high is higher than the low.
I agree with you completely.
And that's the same thing. I also wanted to get into, I feel like you have like one of the most loyal fan bases already. Like you've really been picking up. Do you get much, we kind of talked about this earlier, but like hate comments? Like
we did. Dude, you know, so it's funny enough, most of my hate comments were when I posted a couple of gambling reels. And I remember like, you know, people be like, oh, it doesn't matter, it's just a comment, it's just a comment. It doesn't matter, bro, because these people that like watch me and support me, like, dude, they mean a lot to me, you know? So like when I can, you know, I don't say they kind of hold me accountable, but like my real genuine fans, like if I'm posting some out of pocket stuff, like they're gonna be like, you know, he talks about Christ, he talks about bodybuilding. Why is he kind of going out of? So like, I've kind of almost like built who I am based off like my core. So like now it's like, okay, if the fame started changing me or whatnot, it's like I feel like my fan base would kind of like call me out, be like, bro, that's not really you. Like, stop putting on an act or whatever. But it's, I don't know. I think I've been through a lot of mental health issues, and I've also been at a lot of lows, and I've been at, I guess this is like the highest I've been at, but like I've been pretty low. So I guess I don't want to say I'm relatable, but I just like, I can relate to like the average, like, dude, I was a server a year ago. I was working at a restaurant, like no degree. All my friends have like, you know, degrees and making 100K and doing this and doing that. I'm serving tables at a restaurant from 7 a.m. to 3:30 in the afternoon, like getting there at 6:50. I got up at 6 a.m. to go serve at a restaurant. Like that was like, but it was humbling. It was like, I'm no better than anybody just based off of if I'm jacked or off of how attractive you are. Like that's what the whole like black pill, you see all like the looks maxing stuff, like looks are all that matters, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I was talking with my girlfriend about this. It's just basically like, you don't know who you really are until you are stripped away of like your strengths, right? So it's like for me, like as Julian, if I 270 lean, 280 lean, bro, tomorrow I get in a car accident or tomorrow whatever the case happens, or I get a disease where I can't work out anymore, am I 180 pounds? Am I going to be able to look at myself and be like, man, from all the social media posts, like you're still the same person? And as of right now, I feel like I wouldn't be embarrassed to show my face, you know? It's where I feel like a lot of these looks maxing people, or I don't even want to judge people. I don't mean to come off as judgmental right now, but I feel like people that if they got their greatest strength taken away, and you really had to reflect on like who you actually are as a spirit, you know, as your soul, like, who are you? Like, would you want to show your face in public? Because there's times, bro, like back when I was making all these bad decisions and I was like really hard on myself and I couldn't, you know, forgive myself, and I was making these bad decisions and I was like, who are you? Like, and I didn't want to show my face in public, right? So I'm trying to be like a better person and like someone that's like, you know, you take away bodybuilding, you take away this, take away that, like I'm still like, at least I was being myself. I wasn't putting on a front, you know? So that's kind of, I think, why a lot of people like my content. I'd say, like you say, I have a loyal fan base. I'd hope that's I think that's the case. And I think even if like tomorrow I lost all my muscle, I think there'd still be a solid amount of people that would still like to watch me just because like I try and keep it as real as I can. And I'm trying to not be fake about it. I'm not trying to, you know, act like, yeah, dude, I'm a fucking in bodybuilding and this and like, you know, it's there's only one judge, bro. For me, you know, it's like people they hate comments, but back to what you're saying, that I get not really much hate, but a lot of hate on like Facebook. And a lot of it's from like me walking around with my shirt off. So you got like these old heads on Facebook, like, who's this fucking jacked guy walking around? There's kids in the store. I get it, bro, but it's like you got to do something to stand out, right? Like at some point, like those were some of my biggest videos on the come up, you know? Yeah. So it's I'm like, I don't want to say do whatever it takes, because that's like that's for me, it's like doing whatever it takes. To me, there's a fine line, right? I think doing whatever it takes within the vicinity of the boundaries God has given me, like God has given, right? If you're willing to go outside of that, that's no longer God's path for you. That's your path for yourself. Yeah. So I'm trying to stay within the boundaries of like God's path for me and like do what I possibly can, right? I think, you know, I think that was all in like for fun, and like I don't think that was anything like harmful by just taking my shirt off, walking through the store in public, whatever. Like it's not like I'm in kids' stores necessarily, but it's not like I went into like a Toys R Us and did it, right? So it's like I get a lot of hate comments from like Facebook and like old heads and like old people. Like, dude, I'll get some nasty DMs, bro, like some horrible stuff. But I mean, for the most part, it's pretty overall very positive for the most part.
Yeah, that's good. That is good. Because that's kind of the same thing with like, even if you see a bad one, they always say one bad one is 10 good ones.
Yeah.
hits as hard as 10 good ones.
Yeah.
But
It does. It would get to me. Like I said, like I don't deal with much hate, but some of them, like, I mean, they'll get to me because it's not like I used to, like I said, I've been posting for 5-6 years now. I used to respond some horrible, like I've never responded, like starting this year in January, I don't respond to anything back hateful. If I respond, it's in like God bless bro, like I'm not trying to whatever the case is, but I don't like to feed into it. I don't do that anymore. So it's, I just, but it can be hard, because as you know, with your content, you put a lot of time into this. You're setting up the cameras, you're doing the golf stuff, you're doing like content. It takes a lot of time, and so when you put a lot of time into something and you get like negative feedback, it kind of makes you, what's the word, defensive. You're kind of like, well, you know what I mean? So I think,
Yeah, I definitely understand the defensive side, just because it is, like, one, you're already putting yourself into an uncomfortable place where you're putting up everything where people who are never going to see you can comment that bad thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I really think the way I've thought about it, which luckily enough I haven't had a lot of hate comments, it's just a guy behind a screen.
Yeah.
Like that's nothing. Like if someone is trying to tear you down at all, like they are 90% they're probably just jealous.
Yeah.
And then 10% they probably don't understand like what you're doing or like what you stand for actually.
Yeah.
And then I think that's really where a lot of success comes from, is really because people can understand like a true passion, like they can see through it, especially because there's so many like gimmicks going on that are like, well, not gimmicks, but the influencer space is a lot more crowded than it used to be in any industry. Like there are people who do, like you say, like makeup or golf or this or that. I didn't mean to bring makeup, but like makeup, bodybuilding, any
reaction
sort,
videos, gaming,
and
there's so
anything.
many. You can have a very niche subject of influencing and make a career out of it, and something very niche. Yeah.
Yes, and there's something there. So I think people are getting better and better at understanding who is genuine and who is not. You know?
I agree.
And I think if you just have a genuine passion for what you're doing, or like a genuine character, people will see it. Mm-hmm. And I think they have definitely seen that in your videos, and luckily a lot of people's videos like around me. Mm-hmm. So it's very good.
I will say though, you do have to have the it factor in some sort of regard. You have to have something, like you can have all the passion in the world, but you have to have something that like you have to know your strengths. Like for me, it's like, okay, I know I'm taller than most people, right? So I'm gonna lean into that 6'3", this amount of weight, right? Or I know I'm very good at talking, so I'm gonna lean into the talking to the camera part. If you have like this passion, but you don't have exactly, you have to be able to super well look at yourself in the mirror and be like, what are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? Can this be something where, because it's the hard part about it is like, I'd love for us to live in a society where it's like, you can just do your passion and you're all set. But it's like, that was the pressure I was under for so long. Is like, dude, I have to make money, right? Like, how am I gonna make money from this? And that was like a huge stressor, because like, all I want to do is bodybuild. All I cared about was getting bigger and want to do shows and this. But unfortunately enough, dude, bodybuilding is like a rich person's sport if you aren't making money from it. Like you have to have money to bodybuild. So it's like if you are, that's why I tell people like 18, 17, like I'm not trying to crush anybody's dreams, but I always tell people like, if you're really like, you better be in this, bro, because it might take 10 years as a bodybuilding influencer, as an influencer to like crack your name out there and like make it, bro. It took me 6, 5, like, and that's all from the grace of God, bro. I still can't believe I'm in this like situation right now, like where we're at. So like, I just tell people like, you just got to be able to really be honest with yourself. Be like, okay, like, are my genetics elite? Like, am I really good at talking to a camera? Okay, maybe I'm not good enough. Can I get good enough at talking to a camera? Yeah. Am I good enough at editing? I'm not great at editing. So it's like, a lot of my videos are raw type, like more just like wholesome, raw stuff. And thankfully it works for me. But like, you might be really good at editing, so you can make it work. And you're so good at editing and like whatever, that maybe you don't have the best physique, but you can still grow in that way because you're so strong. But you just got to know your strengths and like play to them. I think that's why the schooling with schools is very like, for some people and not for others, because schools don't always play to your strengths. I think that's up to your parents and also you to like, and God, well, if you have faith in God, but even if you don't, if your parents and just like some mentor to be able to guide you, like as a young kid, like, hey, you stand out, you're good at this, like maybe we should put you in this, or let's try you here, because playing to your strengths, you got to have the advantage, bro. Because if you're in a field where you don't have the advantage and you're just like working hard. You're going to be working hard your whole life when you can have a natural advantage towards something else. So it's like you got to play to your strengths too, mixing that with your passion. But I know a lot of people that have passions for certain things that just, it's not in their cards, right? Like whether they don't have the work ethic, whether they don't have the discipline, or whether they don't have the strengths. Like there has to be a perfect storm.
Yeah. So
it's like you see a lot of these influencers like, you can do it, anything you want. It's like you can, but you have to be pretty logical about it too. Like really be able to know your own cards. And like everyone has their own set of cards, bro. Like just learn how to really read your cards and use your cards to your advantage. Because everyone has a special, different, unique person trait to themselves. You just got to be able to find exactly what that is and then find some passion within it and then, kind of utilize that. I think is a pretty good template, opposed to just like loosely saying, follow your dreams, and same with content. Like I talked to, Noah Bermudez, like he said he knows you pretty well and whatever, and he was trying to tell me like, hey, a lot of people say, oh, why is my content doing what? Maybe it just isn't good, like you have to be harsh with yourself. Like I've been hard on myself for a very long time, and I feel bad too sometimes when I'm filming skits with my girlfriend, or I'm filming skits, or I'm trying to do things, and I'm like no, like do it again, like this has to be right, because it's like, I know it has to be at a very high degree to make it. Like anything, whether you're an engineer, whether you're a doctor, whether you're an influencer, like if you want to really keep growing and not fall off or really keep pushing, like you got to have that like ability to really look at something and really heavily critique it. You know what I'm saying? And not just like whatever, And sure, some people can do that, and just luckily by the grace, you just have that natural act. But like, I would say I really got to where I'm at right now just from like being very critical of like myself and trying to continue to tweak and get better and get smarter and whatever. And yeah, I'm not saying I'm at like some crazy rate or anything. I'm just saying from where I was to where I'm at now is just pretty cool. So I think that's kind of how I got there, is being pretty critical.
Yeah, definitely. So have you ever heard of this author Malcolm Gladwell before?
No, actually I haven't, no.
So he's written a few books, like good, like the classic stuff you see at like a Barnes and Noble. But
okay.
My roommate actually gave me his book called Outliers. I would highly recommend. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah.
And so it was all about, like outliers, like the people who became mega successful. They talked about Bill Joy, which was a guy who he like created JavaScript. He like wrote JavaScript.
Oh wow.
So it's like the stuff that's in MacBooks, like programming.
Yeah,
I've
heard of that. Yeah.
And then it also talks about Bill Gates, who came a little bit later than Bill Joy, and then really how he, creates Microsoft. But the long story short of the book is like these people and the really successful people like chipped away at what they were good at and what they enjoyed. And then they happened to kind of hit this boom that like accelerated them a ton, but they had, X amount of hours, like thousands of hours of doing that said thing before.
Yeah.
So like before like the lucky gold strike came along, they were already doing it.
Yeah.
So and then I kind of credited a little bit of Sam's story to this. Was he was already big, he's been big, and then back in like I can't remember what year, like kind of like during COVID or like after COVID is definitely when fitness influencing was like really blowing up. And I saw Alex, it was when Alex Eubank was blowing up really. Yeah. So I saw him blowing up and I'm looking at him and I was kind of looking at Sam. I'm like, dude, like you literally mog him, bro. Not to throw Alex on the bus. He's also huge, but
yeah, he's great guy.
I was just like, dude, like you're a lot bigger than all these dudes who are like blowing up right now and like making all these videos. And I harped on him for months to start posting. I'm like, dude, you gotta start posting, because I actually had a TikTok account like my sophomore year of high school. I just posted
that's crazy,
like memes and like bullshit, and grew it to like 30K.
Oh no way, really?
So it was like my first little like dip, and I just did it because one of my other friends had like one that got to like 10K or something, and I just wanted more followers than him, so I grinded it a little harder. I ended up getting banned on it. I remember it was the worst day ever. Like I woke up, I saw it was banned, and I was like freaking out. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So I did. You guys can quote me here. I did social media before Sam did, which is fine. But whatever. So I'm telling him, I'm like, dude, you should really start posting. Like stuff is getting hot. Like you're already big. And he said, he's like, oh, I'll wait till I'm even bigger. And I was like, dude, Like, why do you have to be
bro's
such?
got a plan.
Yeah, I was
dude.
like, why do you have to be such a stick in the mud right
Yeah.
now? Like, come on. So he ends up posting, and then it was kind of the same thing. Like you have hours of this craft that you've been working on for so long, and now there's a way you can utilize it and kind of excel in a way, obviously like income, but just something you're passionate about to spread to so many other
notoriety,
people, like way more people than you would ever even think of.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that's also something that is bigger now. Like there is more opportunity for that kind of thing now. But I wonder, do you think, so like back when Bill Gates is doing Microsoft, obviously that's billion dollar company. What do you think would be, do you think there's something like that now? Like what's going to be, obviously AI, I think, but what's the next like billionaire thing?
That's a great question. That's a fun question. See, now we're getting a little bit more into like the fun, like, man, well, obviously the last one was AI, right? So like ChatGPT and all that, like all that stuff. And I mean, I would just say the next would be whichever AI gets to the quickest groundbreaking technology, whether that be sustainable flying cars, right? And so then there becomes a segment of AI where they are the first to create the flying car that is successful, and then it's like, then okay, well now like the, call it frickin' fly car or whatever, like their stock's super high, and like whoever was the CEO of that was able to say, well, I got from here to fly car by doing this and doing logging hours, working as a whatever at ChatGPT, and then it's like, okay, now there's a book on him, you know what I mean? So probably I'd have to say it'd probably be a subgenre of AI within something of like flying cars or something along those lines.
Yeah, in this book it kind of talks about, it was a very short time frame between all these like crazy billionaires like Henry Ford. I'm blanking on the others, but Henry Ford was the main one that I remembered, which obviously was automotive for like all the US and a lot of the world. But, and then it went like a really big gap where there wasn't like these 0 to X amount million billion.
Yeah.
And now there is again with electric cars, I think was the next big one, obviously with Elon Musk is like the richest person in the world.
Ever, probably.
So that was definitely one of them. But I wonder what's going to be like even farther.
I get what you're saying now. So even more than like,
because there are
I don't know what, that's a tough one because I think even further down the road, then you're getting closer to, I don't know. I don't know how much further we go here, to be honest with you. I don't know if I'm someone who believes in, conquering the universe or like going from planet to planet or whatever. I genuinely, I think it's hard to, I think there will be something along those lines, but I don't know with AI and how these things like, I don't know if you heard about like getting the chip, right?
I've heard about the chip before.
Yeah. Would you, is that something, I know this is a hard, super hard.
No, I would never get the chip.
Yeah. I think that would kind of go against my humane morality compass of like, something along those lines.
I feel like I would rather, well,
you got to never die, basically. You get like half robot body, like okay, we can live forever, right?
That would be a thought. That's kind of like, what's the one? Have you ever heard like the something ship paradox? I can't think of the name.
Burn the ships, or
no? So that's kind of like how I think about it with the chip. I really wish I could think of the name of this. I feel stupid for not knowing.
No, you're good.
And we have no Jamie to pull this
throw
up.
it in the comments. Someone's gonna know.
But the ship is like, there's a wooden ship, and I'm gonna feel like such a gym bro describing this. Like it's not gonna be that right. But there's a wooden ship, and let's say like over the course of time, it like loses its wood and like loses parts or like gets damaged, and then they replace it. But eventually, the entire ship gets replaced.
Yeah.
So which one is the original ship? Is it still the original ship even though it's all replaced? So that would kind of be like, are you still the original Julian even though you have this chip in you that's like, keeping your brain going?
Wow.
I really wish you've never heard of that before?
No, this is the first time I heard of it, and I think it's a very good point. I think the only difference is that a ship doesn't, I think that
obviously a ship has no like
brain. I think that's the biggest, I think that's the biggest thing that would be hard, because it's like if you replace a brain in someone, then I don't know. I don't know. That's a great question. That's a cool cool thing. Like, it's like almost replacing every single organ but the brain, right? So it's like you put a brain in a freaking whatever robot. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it gets to a point where it's like I think this is a human experience. We're all supposed to, enjoy love and positivity and that. And then when it's time, it's time. I don't know if I would be interested in like pushing the envelope to something along the lines that these tech billionaires probably want to get to. I think that's,
I feel like that's probably how a lot of people think across the board too.
I'd say so. Yeah.
I don't know though. We've really hit a large amount of array. We went from speedos, hockey, to chips in the brain.
Chips in the brain.
So I did also want to ask you. I feel like I watched a lot of YouTube bodybuilding or like YouTube lifting. Like when I first got into lifting, I watched Jeff Cavalier.
Oh, okay.
You ever hear of Jeff Cavalier?
I feel like I have, but I can't put a face on it.
So Jeff Cavalier did Athlean X.
Oh, yeah. That's
like,
exactly, I knew it. Yeah,
he's like kind of like a, not older guy, but he's probably like 50 or 60, I'm not sure, but he's still jacked. And he gets like the marker out and writes on his delts and stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember that's kind of that's honestly who got me into working out. My dad actually put me on to him.
Really?
And he's like, what, you should watch these guys. He's like the OG fitness YouTuber.
V-Shred, right? Or that's someone else. No.
I'm not sure.
I know who you're talking about, Jeff Cavalier. Yeah, I know the guy with black hair, short black hair.
Yes. I think he's the GOAT. Yeah. I wish Jeff Cavalier, if you're ever watching this, I really would love to meet you and work out with you.
That'd be dope.
He's like the most science-based, but like hardcore.
Really?
He got me my first pumps ever. And I remember he did a video on Sam, and that's like when he was first coming up. I thought it was the craziest thing ever. I'm like, dude, holy fuck! Like Jeff Cavalier knows my brother.
That's crazy, yeah.
So I wish someday I would love to talk to him for an extended amount of time. But who was your Jeff Cavalier? If you even had one, or if you just got into it, even if it wasn't someone like who lifted weights or anything?
I think so. I guess it's hard because bodybuilding, I would say I got into that at a young age from my dad, got me into lifting. And then I kind of took that as like this, I said this on my Snapchat, a few times, but just to be honest about it, like I feel like I was like the skinny, scrawny, like, not that I got bullied necessarily, but kind of in the friend group where I like didn't really have like a voice or kind of like got pushed over, didn't really, kind of got looked over. And I'm like, there's a couple times there was like some physical stuff with some friends. I just kind of felt like pushing on. I'm like, fuck that. Like I'm getting jacked as fuck. Like I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Kind of like I'm playing hockey. I'm gonna get big. I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna get big as fuck.
Yeah.
Whatever. And so I think the bodybuilding side, I think there wasn't anything that like really like I saw and I was like, man, like Machiavelli motivations like really got to me. Like there wasn't like, oh, I was watching like this exact person. Like I loved like just the Machiavelli motivations, like the hardcore bodybuilding edits and like all that type of stuff. But the person that definitely, I've mentioned this a few times, that got me fully into influence was Sush. I was huge in the Sush James era.
Yeah.
And was huge into Sush for a long time. Obviously, he's in a little bit like different of a realm now than he was on the more fitness side of things for a while.
Yeah.
Which is totally fine. Everyone grows and adapts, whatever. But he was like I don't know. He kind of gave me that like fitness is cool, like because I told you for a while I thought I was kind of gay. I was gonna get judged or whatever.
Yeah.
And you got this cool guy, fucking Sush, just what's up, pussies, like this, that, whatever. And I'm like, all right, like this is pretty cool, like whatever. And it kind of gave me like the confidence to like not really care what people think and kind of just do me, right?
Yeah.
But that was funny because when I started off influencing, I really wasn't my genuine self. I was smoking weed. I was talking about smoking weed and doing gear, and it took me a while to get to that like, hey man, ego aside, everything aside, this is just me at my core, who I am like now. But Sush was like a big Sush and James were a big inspiration for sure, those two guys. But I was never like into like the David Lade era. I was never not like an overly C-bum guy. C-bum's physique fantastic, but I don't like watch all his videos. I don't really watch anybody's like videos. Do you know what I mean? Like I other than Sush for a while, but I don't like watch people's videos anymore really at all because when I have my downtime from influencing or editing or whatever I'm doing, I'm a big hockey guy. Like I'm a hockey nerd. I listen to hockey podcasts.
Yeah.
That's like my downtime is listening to like hockey podcasts. But I'd say probably Sush. What about you?
I would say, well, Jeff Cavalier, like I said.
Oh yeah.
But I did watch Sush. So Sush actually introduced me to the calorie deficit.
Oh.
I swear to you, I did not know what a calorie deficit was. I remember the first time like I ever lost weight.
Yeah.
I was just like kind of like skinny fat kind of in high school, like how anybody is. And I remember I ran all the time, and like I was eating like egg whites and spinach. Like that was all I was eating, fucking egg whites and spinach, and just running all the time because I thought, well, if I run all the time and I get rid of the fat, like I'm gonna look huge.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, well, I didn't know at the time, but like you need muscle to be huge.
Yeah.
So I had the calorie deficit part down for a while, and I credit that to Sush actually. That's funny you say that.
Funny.
Yeah, I used to watch his stuff a decent bit.
Jeff Cavaliere, that's an Athlete Next guy, right? Okay, that's who I knew it was from something, not V-Shredders.
Yeah, Athlete Next. Yeah,
okay, yeah, I remember that guy. He's gotten a lot of controversy though behind him. Whether he's yeah, oh yeah.
What controversy?
I mean, at least him and like the whole V-Shred and like if they're like their programs are actually like whatever.
I don't know what the V-Shred is, to be honest.
It's like a same kind of like similar.
Same thing.
But no, I wanted to ask you something in particular because there's like a difference between someone like me or Sush or James or even the Trent twins and then someone like Sam, right? Like from like a third party / brother, what was it like to have someone go nuclear? Like, okay, there's something for me. I went up to 500K on Instagram and whatever. Sush, you take over YouTube. Sam went like nation, like world, like global, like kids in India, kids. He could fly to any continent and be known. Like, what was it to be around someone who went nuclear? He's on a different level than like any other influencer out there in the fitness realm. He went nuclear. So like, what was seeing that, being a part of that? Still being a part of that.
So I'll be completely honest. I know this doesn't sound like it's authentic, but it really didn't cause too much of anything. Besides, well, obviously like more fan interactions. Mm-hmm. Like I had to get used to running into a lot of people and like, obviously like how we did today, like some guys at the gym, wanted photos and I always really, I was fine with that. I think it would have been more different if it was more different, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So
seems like he handled it pretty well. It's not like if it would have changed him or he started like, is that kind of what you mean? Like he just seemed to like have a handle on it kind of deal. Like it just didn't really change much about who he was or anything. Or
it was definitely. I'm trying to think of the best way to say it. I mean, really, the best way to say it is like it wasn't different because it wasn't different. Like he didn't blow up, you know, get a Lambo and move to LA. So not like that's a bad thing because to some people that's awesome. But I would have thought it was a lot different if
he's out in Miami right now, living in Brickell. He's fucking. Mark, come down to my Sam's and fucking.
That would have been different. So it could have went, you know, a plethora of different ways. But
that's funny you say that. Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been different if there was a lot of that, and so kind of, and then when I first started posting, and like kind of grew it and got some traction, like it wasn't different because I was already ready. I was already seeing it from him, so I kind of knew a little bit more of how to handle it. Because what do you think? I mean, I think you're in the midst of it. So how do you think you're handling it?
I think there's levels to it. I think I'm in like a cool spot right now, but with like Sam, like, yeah, I mean, he like, just from like an overall, like, it's kind of like when you were saying, like, what's the next big thing? Like, I don't know if there'll ever be another Sam. Like, dude, he went like, I mean, averaging 1 million views of video on YouTube every day.
Yeah.
That's like, I'm sorry, bro. That's like insane. Like raw, like no high tier video editing. Just like, yo, like I'm fucking in my car. I train, whatever. I post this every night, every single day, 7 days a week. And each one hits 1 million views on YouTube. I don't know. I think that's an uncomparable fucking scenario. I think that's an insane, like you said, like the outlier situation.
Yeah, that's the outlier.
But for my personal situation, it's a blessing. I mean, I hated working jobs, bro. I hated it. Yeah. I hated it. Like getting to work, wake up and be like, oh, I'm stressed because I don't have a video today. Big deal, dude. I can be funny and like make a video. Like I enjoy it. Like I'm excited to try and make people laugh. Like I love to entertain people. I like to make people like laugh. Like, you know, and like fucking, I'm also big. So like be big and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like just be jacked and like make people laugh. I don't know.
Be big,
like,
jacked.
Try and make some content. Like I'd love to like as much of a passion I'm realizing, as much of a passion bodybuilding is, I'd say it's close to as equally as I have making content.
Yeah.
I really enjoy skits. I've always enjoyed acting. I was in like a play in 8th grade.
Really?
On some shit, yeah.
Dude, I like that.
On some shit. And then I kind of like felt weird about it because like, I don't know, like my dad's kind of like a hardcore fucking Italian, whatever. I'm in a fucking play and on some shit like that. And like,
Yeah.
so I got like, and then I started balling out in hockey, so that was pretty cool. But like, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, 8th grade, I was I liked acting. And I think that always kind of, you know, and I remember I watched, no one will probably know who this is. Maybe, you probably never heard of like Casey Neistat. Probably
Dude,
not.
Of course I have. What are you talking about? I
Really?
love Casey Neistat.
Dude,
Yeah.
I used to watch his vlogs every day in like
I
8th,
know
7th,
Casey
6th grade, like 7th, 8th grade, and like
Yeah.
computer science or
Dude,
computer class.
I watch his videos all the time.
And now it's just funny how like now I'm vlogging every day. It's just
Dude.
like, and like I used to think like hockey was going to be my way out and this and that and whatever. And now it's like I've read like, wow, I really am back to like the 8th grade, like doing plays and like watching Casey Neistat as like vlogging. Like that's what I'm trying to do. It's like, I don't know, it's kind of cool. I feel like that was always kind of what I wanted to do, but it kind of got silenced from like kind of being nervous to like do that acting-ish stuff and like whatever. And now I'm like back to doing it, you know, my own unique way, blessed through social media. It's, I don't know, it's cool, I guess.
I could definitely see that. But now I bet you're hyped that you used to do the plays in 8th grade.
I only did like one because I was so like, you know what I mean? Like it was like a one-time thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm not going to do theater. All these weird kids and like all my friends play hockey and I'm a hockey guy, whatever. And I did theater for like one semester or whatever. And then I was like, but I liked it low key and I really liked it. And then I liked acting and stuff too. And I don't know, it's cool.
No,
I think it's cool, man. I think it's fun to me.
Would you ever want to act in a movie?
Dude, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hollywood's
Being
calling
in a
someday.
movie
I
would be
hope.
so sweet.
I'd love to do some sort of, I'd love for my career to take like an Arnold-esque wave where like I'm still a serious bodybuilder, but I'm also like doing cool ass stuff in regards to like whether it be movies or magazines, whatever it is. Like I'd love to get into like that. But like I was talking about earlier, within the boundaries of the Lord, because that dynamic can easily be frayed to get to where you want to be of doing whatever it takes. You know, you kind of got to be, I think LA can be very demonic. I think there's a lot of things that come into acting and come into certain, you know, where it may just not work out, you know, or it may, you know, like I try and just take everything one day at a time. I try not overthink, like you said, like, oh, you might be bubbling right now. You might be on a huge come up, whatever it is, or I may not, you know, it's just, I try and take it one day at a time and try and take advantage of the opportunities, right? Like with you moving in 2 weeks, like I want to, you know, we've been talking for a while. Like I want to build a relationship. I want to hang out with him before I leave. Cool. All right. I had a little bit extra money. Let's go to Tampa. Let's go hang out with James. Let's do this. Okay. Let's just try and keep finding ways. It's like, I don't want to work a job. I don't want to do this. This is like my only option. So it's like, I got to try and find ways to keep doing cool stuff that people like are excited to watch my content instead of just making boring old shit. You know, I'm trying to just keep shit new and fresh and just keep ripping shit, you know?
Yeah, dude, that is good.
So
that is kind of how I'm feeling right now about what we're doing here. I definitely have a good, like this has been great. I mean, hanging out with you today.
Yeah, great time.
And then
I had a great time. Awesome.
Obviously getting to know you on a better level.
Yeah.
Even though I felt like we had a pretty good relationship just over DM, which was funny. I think we meshed well already.
Yeah, I agree.
Had a similar kind of headspace. But also just to give a platform, I think I always liked when someone is able to give someone a platform where they can talk about something like that.
Yeah.
Like I always love, so I'm a big UFC fan.
Cool. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, cool.
Big UFC fan. Nice. And I loved like the best post, I love the post-fight interviews. Because like when a fighter wins, you know, someone steps in and they kind of can ask the right question to where these people can portray their real emotions of how like happy they feel for winning. So if you ever, are you into UFC at all, or maybe?
I'm slightly, yeah. I kind of got. I used to be more into it. Yeah, now I'm kind of like, I don't like to see people getting their fucking. I don't know. I'm not overly violent anymore. I used to really like it. Now I kind of. Like, I'm not trying to be a fucking pussy about it, but like, I'm not overly into it anymore. But it's cool.
See, I don't like it for the violence, but just like, there's a beauty to it. I think.
Yeah, that's how I feel about boxing. I'm huge into boxing. I love boxing.
Yeah, similar stuff like. Cool. The art of offense and defense, and especially in MMA where it's like there's ground game, there's this, there's that. So it's really like there's so many pieces of the puzzle, And when a really good fighter can put all of them together, it is like, I mean, it's art in itself. But the best post-fight interview, I love post-fight interviews, is when Leon Edwards head kicks Kamaru Usman in the last round. 4 minutes into the last round, he's getting beat the whole fight except the first round.
I remember that. That's when I was into it. Yep.
It was like, it was the most moving thing I'd ever seen. Like, I'll watch that video before I go into the gym.
Yeah.
But Joe Rogan comes into the ring, and he asks Leon Edwards, I don't know exactly what he asked, but he asked the perfect question to where it built him up to where he could answer it in the fullest regard of how he really felt. And I think that is like one of the most beautiful things somebody can do.
For somebody else, yeah.
For someone else. So I was most excited to talk to you about this because I wanted to kind of be that person to give you this platform to kind of talk about it.
That's so cool. Wow. That just gave me chills, dude.
So
wow, yeah. You really were and I told you, I was like, yeah, no one's asked me to do a podcast before. No one's showed interest in like asking me about stuff before. And thank you for that. That means a lot. That's like a very cool gift that you've given me. I think that's very cool, and I'm so excited to watch this podcast. No, wow, that's sweet, dude. That's cool.
Yeah, but it's definitely something that I feel passionate about, and like I definitely I want to do this so bad that this is the debut podcast. Just because I knew it would be so good to get you on and kind of hear the backstory, because so many people see you on like a reel or this or that, but it's really important to kind of get the one-on-one interaction with the people who are listening, with the people who are supporting you.
Yeah.
So this was great. I mean, this couldn't have been better.
This was awesome, dude.
Yeah.
What a great
fun.
great overall day, training, content, food, everything. Man, I'm feeling really blessed right now for sure. Great overall day. So awesome. Thank you for having me on. The first episode. I really appreciate you having me on and being the guest, man. Seriously.
Episode 1, guys. That will be a wrap.
That's a wrap. Brother. Great, dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you.